Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Bolt Action Basics. Today we're very excited because we're going to be doing some conversions. So we're going to do two types of conversions today. We're going to be doing a conversion with a bit of green stuff, and we'll be doing some conversions of our finished mortar team and our finished MMG team into Belgians with a bit of head swapping. So without further ado, let's jump over to the workbench and get started on these great little projects. Okay, we'll see you in a sec. Okay guys, we're at the workbench. A little bit of a different angle today, kind of pointing over from the direction of the window so that we don't get the light from out there affecting the shot. Unfortunately though, in the position of where the overhead light is and in relation to me, you are going to get a bit of shadow from me, so I apologize for that, but we should try to keep that to a minimum. Now, what do we need when converting figures? Well, we need our basics, which is our cutters and our file, which I like to use. A sculpting tool can be quite helpful. Let's see where we're at. So we've got that sort of end there, and then on this end we've got that sort of end there. So they're quite useful. Let me just get my cutters. Good. Because they're metal figures, we could, if we wanted, put them in some soapy water and just scrub them a little bit, just to make sure that any of the casting agents are off. I'm not going to do that. You can. Sorry, just cleaning up that pistol. It's got a little bit of extra flash on there that I don't want, so just clean that up. And then I'm just going to clean up the rest of the figure. Okay guys, so having cleaned them up, made sure all the flash and mold lines are off. Actually, it's all right. Just going to get that little bit off. Right, next job is to choose a head. Now, this figure is from the BEF command pack. I've already got a figure like him in my army, in my British BEF army. So what I wanted to do was, rather than have two of the same type, I thought I would use this for my Belgian officer. So he is going to be going on, and I'm going to actually create some riding boots. Now, having looked at the figure in a little bit more detail now, it actually looks like this could be quite a challenging conversion. Particularly as I don't have a lot of experience in doing conversions. So I am going to try my best. This is by no means a tutorial, but more of a guide to ideas of what you could do to do conversions, and also what you could attempt to do. And of course, if you know a better way of doing it, or a way that works better for you, do that, because that works. And that's probably a sensible plan. So I'm going to choose a head. I've got a sort of young officer's head here, so I'm just going to snip that off and we'll put him straight on. Now the reason, and I'm going to throw the rest of the heads on the floor, so let's quickly retrieve those. Okay, we retrieve those, and where's the pack with them in? Yeah, I think it's that one there. Right, so one of the things that I did was to research Belgian officers and see what they looked like, and a lot of them tended to wear the uniforms of British officers to try and emulate them. So that's why we're using a British officer figure. So I'm going to quickly dry fit the head, check that it fits and it goes how I want it to. Oh yeah, as long as I don't throw it off, that will fit perfectly. So a little bit of super glue, because we're doing metal to metal. And I don't need to clip a bit off the back of his cap. Oh, fiddlesticks. Right, let's give this another go. Remember that the less glue you use, as long as you use enough, a little less is better. Alright, because it does stick, goes solid much quicker. And now I get to spend 15 minutes peeling super glue off my fingers, which I always love. So his head is on. that is a good start. Hopefully it's dry enough so I can clip this bit off the back. Yeah, that worked. Lovely. So we've got my British soldier. He's currently a British soldier. We want to turn him, put some riding boots on him to turn him into a Belgian officer. So I'm going to get my green stuff, as we've shown in previous videos. And I'm only going to take a very, very small amount to start with. I don't know how much I'm going to need, and I'd rather err on the side of caution than use it unnecessarily or waste it. So let me just get a bit of the blue, and we'll wrap those two together, and we shall create green stuff. Now, one of the viewers very rightly said, if you dip your finger in a warm water and then put it onto the green stuff, it actually makes it much more malleable. So thank you to that viewer. I can't remember his YouTube name, but I think it's Tom something. But anyway, yeah, absolutely spot on. I've tried it since, and it works a real treat. Mind you, saying that, I haven't done that today. I was ill prepared, so that's my bad. Not the advice's fault. So I've got that there. I'm just gonna dip a little bit of water on my fingers just so it's not gonna. Right. So I'm going to take about half of this. I've only got a really small piece actually. There we go. Only got a small piece, but I'm going to take half of that. And what I'm going to try to do is to roll it out to a good length. Am I going to do it like that? And flatten it out. And I'm going to try wrap it round his leg. The problem I've got... Oh, his head's just fallen off. The problem I've got is that the green stuff's hasn't got height, so I'm going to add that other bit of green stuff back to it to get the height. And I may have to do this in a couple of efforts. I'm going to wrap this around his leg, all being well. And what I'd like to do is have it meet at the front, so that I get a sort of a seam up the front of the, or I'm trying to do this. Oh, bugger. Might be at the back. No, I'm sure the pictures showed at the front, so this is why it's good to check. But looks like I need to roll it out a little bit longer. Okay. Oh, let's go and film it. Yeah, I am still filming. Oh yeah, it's my good lady, ever supportive. Right. Right, bit more water on the fingers. The green stuff's sticking to me. And let's try again. Bit of green stuff. Yeah. And roll it round. Okay, and this is where I'm going to use my tool. So a bit of water on the tool, and I'm just going to ease it round the back and then round the sides. Sort of. It is a little fiddly, and his head's fallen off again, so I'm taking that off for now. Okay, I've got the joint as I want it, pretty much. I'm now going to play around with getting the front of the boot to the size I want, and likewise, just smoothing out the back there. It's quite challenging to actually get the thickness right, because the green stuff's actually relatively thick if you roll it out, so I'm sure I should have rolled it out much thinner than this. And then on top of that, you've got the actual part of the sculpt, and that's now split apart. Buggery-roo. Okay, let's take it all off and we'll start again from scratch. So if anybody ever said sculpting and conversions was easy, they lied. This is definitely not an easy process, I would say, from my experiences so far. There's got to be a better way of doing this. So we're going to have a rethink. We'll have a rethink. We'll come back in a minute, hopefully, all being well. If not, we can always go to the Belgians and or to the Finns and start beheading them and putting new heads on them. But anyway, yeah, we will be back shortly. See you in a moment. Okay, guys, so after a little bit of working, we have now actually got one on, and it does look thick and it does look a little bit high, but you know what? I think for me that's not a bad first effort. So really all I've got to do now is to get some more green stuff rolled out. I don't know if you can see it on there, but I have tried to, it's not going to focus, but I've tried to make the join in the middle or in the front of the leg come together rather than be smoothly into each other. And the purpose for that is to show that, you know, that's where the laces go. That's where they will connect and roll together. So same again, bit more of the blue, bit more of the yellow. We'll crack these together. If it'll come off my finger now. And yeah, and we'll get that second one going, and hopefully we'll then have a converted Belgian. Now, he's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, and I think I need to probably have a lot more goes at doing conversions with green stuff to get good at it. But the important thing to remember is, guys, this is your army, and yeah, people might judge you on it, but you know what? You pay the money, and you take the time, and you enjoy it, and hey, who cares what other people think? Yeah, obviously we care if they love it, and if they don't, then maybe, you know, see if they are offering constructive criticism. If they're not, it's not really worth listening to, in my opinion. You know, I'm sure people are going to maybe say that this isn't a fantastic conversion, and it's not. I guarantee, you know, it's not. Definitely not. But if you don't try, you never get better. And I'd like to get better at it, and I'd like to, no, I'd also like this to work as I was planning. It's not doing that. So back onto the drawing board again. I think it's the pressure of being on film, you know. No, I'm only joking, guys. Okay. I'm trying to get the thinness. I'm trying to also get it big enough that it will wrap around the leg and make it. And it's a little bit tricky because I've got green stuff on one leg, so I'm trying to avoid that. So I want to get them stuck together. Likewise, it won't come off my finger. There we go. We're in. Right, sculpting tool at the ready, please. Here we go. Just going to pull that round. Trying to get it unstuck from that side. Yes, we have some gap between them. Coming together. Let's just turn that over so we get a bit more of a fold at the front. Okay. So not perfect by any stretch of the imagination yet, but what I'm going to do, hopefully doing a little bit of fiddling around here, I'm just going to bring those pieces together at the front there. And okay, that's possibly, and I'm really trying to sort of make it fit. See, this is not fitted to the leg. There's too much sort of, and so I'm going to sort of start smoothing it over and trying to get rid of, I think I've got too much on there. So let's pull that off and start again. Okay, let's try this again. And you know what, guys, you know, I'm no pro at this, and I don't ever claim to be. I purely do it for fun and entertainment, and I'm just sharing my experiences with you. One thing that I do find with the bolt action community is that people are very supportive, and somebody will see this and they'll say, why don't you try doing it this way? And that will probably improve me quite substantially, in fact. You know what? I learn from people. People learn from me. It's a process. It's a cycle. But I do have in my head what I want it to look like, which is important. And I do have in my head somewhat of an idea of what I'm trying to achieve. So let's jump back in there. Let's detach that piece from that one because I don't want them touching. Come on. One boot is attacking another boot. It's ridiculous. Okay. Cover over his gaiters, trying to get some of the green stuff closer to the bottom. And because I've got that little bit of extra green stuff on the side that I've just discarded, or I haven't discarded, I've saved, what I can do with that is kind of come around the bottom and just add extra bits where I need it, just to give that tightness, that fit look to it. Where I don't need so much, I'm going to cut that off there. Yep, that's off. I'm sorry you guys can't see a whole lot of this. I thought this angle might be a little bit better, but we'll keep working on it and we'll see what works best. Okay. Okay, let's scrape a bit of that off there. Get it off his boot. Okay, so the thing that I haven't got with this, that I have got with the other, is that crease down the middle. So I'm gonna just create that with my tool and give it that mark, although that hasn't really worked as well as I'd like. So do a bit of touch up here. And we haven't quite gone down as far as the other side, so we're going to take a little bit of the excess green stuff that we had, and I'm going to roll it out thin and just put it around the bottom as an extra little bit there. Okay, a little bit there. This is I feel slightly how you butcher how to butcher a figure. It's not looking as great as I would have liked it to, but okay, there's a little bit. Try to smooth this out as best as possible. Riding boots are fairly smooth, and just trying to sort of ease it into the shoe itself so it looks like they're one part. Obviously the paint job is going to add to that as well, but where possible I need to be able to make that with the green stuff. And that's starting to take shape, I think. I'll put an extra bit in there. Good definition on the cars. Yeah, okay, so it's not by any stretch of the imagination perfect. I will absolutely throw that out as a disclaimer now. It's not perfect, but it is done, and I'm relatively happy with it. Just not let that green stuff go to waste. I'm relatively happy with that. For a first effort, it does look like he's sort of got big snow boots on, but I'm going to go with that. And once we've sprayed it up, I'm going to let that harden for it. Probably leave that overnight, let it harden, and then try spray tomorrow. We're supposed to be getting better weather in the next couple of days, so I'll actually be able to spray some figures. Okay, let's leave him to dry. And we have number one down. Actually, while I'm saying that, we will just stick him on his base. Hope his head doesn't fall out. Okay, a bit of super glue and on the base. And I will be putting some green stuff on that a little bit later on before I prime them. Okay, so there's the first figure done. Right, let's move on to what I consider the easier tasks, the head swap conversion. Now, this is my preferred way of converting, and if I can help it, I would rather just do head swap conversions without using the green stuff. But you know what, it adds another string to my bow, so I'm happy to do it. Now, I will just add, I don't usually put support teams on these bases, but for my Belgian army I'm going to. I haven't got as many pill bases as I thought, or if I have, I can't find them. So I've decided to go ahead and use the 60mm plastic base that came with the kit, with the figures. So we have the Finnish MMG team, first of all. We have the gunner. We have the machine gun itself. We have interesting looking guy. Bunch of Finnish heads with helmets, which actually look very German to me. So maybe I'll research that. Maybe I'll find out that the Germans supplied the Finns, but and a bit of scrap. Okay. So I won't bore you with putting the gun together. Primarily because I actually need to go and have a look to see if there's some construction details that I need to, or diagrams that I could look at, because I don't really know how this goes together. I think that's the tripod, and I think they go onto those. They look like skis though. I don't need them on skis, so I might have them without that bit. One of the best ways of working this out, I find, is going onto the Warlord website and actually looking at the figures that they put together, because you'll very soon find out where that all goes. Okay guys, so yeah, there was a bit of a disruption there with the camera and not having enough space on my phone, so I cleared that and went and had a look at how this works, how it fits together. And I'm going to put it together now. So yeah, and while I'm doing this, I thought I would talk to you, because while I was away looking at how this all goes together, I was playing around with my army lists for my early war game, and really pleased with how it's come out. I've got 1,500 points. Well, it's 12 points over 1,500. I've just dropped that. Where did that go? Oh, I'm gonna have to get up on down on my knees. Oh, there it is. No, I don't. Haha. Yeah, so I got 1,512 points of German spread across um, two platoons, and I have a platoon of Belgians, which I'm working on, which I, to be fair, have nearly actually got everything I need for them. There are, I think, I need another 3 squads of Belgians, which I'll be picking up hopefully in the next. I'll be getting at least 2 of those in the next couple of days, or ordering them, should I say? And I will be putting in order for the rest once I've finished them. But I need to get these finished, and I need to get my tank done, which will be my next tutorial for bolt action basics. So that is a resin kit, a resin vehicle, and so as I said, I was going to look at how to put a resin kit, a resin vehicle together. So I will be doing that, or using the T15 tank from my Belgians for that. So I'm very excited about that. That should be good. Yeah, so this should fit in there like so. It's going to be interesting to see how that stays up. I worked out that the other pieces were in fact for they're the skis that you can, essentially the Finns put their machine guns on. The front of this part here, the tripod, would be on skis, so they could literally just lift up this handle and ski off with it, which is very clever. So yeah, so you learn something every day. So I actually realised I just need to put down some green stuff on this base, which I will do very quickly. In fact, I tell you what I'll do. I will do this, and I will glue the machine gun together and glue the guy down onto the base, and get all these bits and pieces sorted and very nice, so that I can come back and show you the head swapping part. So I will be right back. Okay guys, so we return. So I have the 60mm base. I have put a bunch of green stuff on it to give it some bit of texture, and I've got my team assembled. All that needs now to convert these is the heads, and I have from here, Warlord sent me 8 heads, so I'm just going to find the ones that I think work pretty well and start snipping them off and gluing them on. So let's do that. So just like before, pick our head, bit of glue in the neck. Obviously we'd like to do a dry run through first. I've been impatient and decided not to, and just going to slot that head in, that neck into its place, and all being well, giving it a couple of seconds, the head rolls off. And I get more super glue on my fingers. Oh, the bane of my life. Okay. So there we have our first Belgian head on. And I've noticed that because I was in such a rush, there's a little bit extra flash on the back, which I shall snip off. And the head comes off, and I will have to reposition and go again. No, you're not talking while you're shooting. Come on, look straight. Thank you. Okay. Right, so there's one down. Let's pick somebody with a bit of a moustache for the sergeant. This guy looks pretty good. Bit of glue down the neck. I'm going to try to put it on the around the collar as well. My plan being that that way, hopefully, if the neck doesn't quite fit all the way in and hit the glue well, then I can have it sort of the chin and such forth stick to it, so he can be looking poignantly. Come on. No. Okay, and he's on there. Excellent. Now, just as a quick point, I usually, as I said, base everything individually so that you can take off take off figures as and when you take casualties. If you take casualties, hopefully these guys won't take casualties. But so instead, when I play, I'm going to have to probably do something like put a dice down behind it as to say how many casualties, because you know that is important in bolt action. So just something to consider when you're thinking about your force and how you want to base them. Some people really don't mind going on the support team bases like this, the 60mm bases, and I think they do look good. Just for sort of practicality of gameplay, and also the fact that if you've got them individually, then they can really play with any rule system you've got. Thinking this guy might need his... No, that's going to work perfectly. So there is my Belgian MMG team all sorted out with their heads on. So that's one down. I'm going to work on the second one, and I'll come back when we put their heads on, and we'll see the progress we've made. So we'll see in a moment. Okay, so we're back, and I have got the medium mortar guys all stuck on with green stuff. I've started to add a bit of sand. I'll add a bit more of that shortly, but now I need to add the heads. So let's see what we got. I definitely think we should have the big mustache guy as the sergeant or the spotter or whatever his role is. Over here with the binoculars. Let's add that in there. Just check that I don't need to clip anything off. Just need that little bit there clipped off. Not big drama though. And head in. And he is looking fantastic. Really, really pleased with that. He looks like somebody who's just sort of hanging around. He's by himself, so let's use him not feel too left out. Right, he's going to go in this one, who's passing the ammunition to the loader. And the loader, or the firer, or whatever you call him. Yeah, look at that. I missed that one. He's got his mouth open. He would have been perfect on the machine gun. Yeah, I probably could pull that off, to be fair. What do you think, guys? What do you think? Pull it off or not? Yeah, I ain't doing it, especially because it took so long to get him on. He's not coming off easily. He is coming off easily. Okay, we're swapping the heads around. So this guy is going to go on the loader. And he looks pretty good on that, actually. So yeah, good decision, guys. Well done. I love it when my watchers, my viewers help me out, even when they don't know it. Oh, and actually I found he's clipping off the back, which I forgot to do. Okay, let's get him onto... Now this is going to be quite different for me, guys, because I've never really painted them on these bases like this before. So there we have it. I've got a couple of spare Belgian heads. I'll put them in my bag with my finish heads and skis, and they can go for another day. So conversions. I have now my Belgian mortar team based up with their heads on, and get some paint on that, and they'll be looking like Belgians very soon. So very pleased with that. Oh, probably shouldn't be scraping super glue down there. Okay, let's clean that up. Okay, let's get that off, clean that, good. And then secondly, my Belgian MMG team, and again, get some paint on them, they'll be looking like Belgians. So that's it for today, guys, from us. I hope you've enjoyed and liked the video. Please, if you do like it, click like. Feel free to add any comments. Please be kind. All right, as I say, I am fairly new to this conversion. Obviously, the swapping heads is pretty easy going, but the green stuff is trickier. So please be generous. Yeah, if you like this video or any of my other videos, please feel free to subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you soon on another episode of Bolt Action Basics. Take care.